You know, the next thing is, man, Craig Mack was the one that jumped Bad Boy off. And, and it got so bad that Craig Mack, who died from AIDS, that man, he got brainwashed so bad from Diddy and got done so wrong. The man went to South Carolina and joined a cult with his family until he died of AIDS a few years ago.
I'm going to tell you who I believe is on the tapes. I believe Barack Obama got a tape.
Yeah, he's playing high to high button.
I know Jennifer Lopez has multiple tapes.
Oof.
I know Beyonce got a tape.
Oof.
I definitely know they probably recycled some old Stevie J and Eve stuff. I know Drake got a tape. I know Rihanna got a tape. I know Chris Brown's on one of them tapes. I know Trey Songz has been like a supporting actor in many freak-off film. Definitely Usher. I think what would shock people are the politicians and the royals that were on that tape.
This dumbass lawyer said he probably got it at Costco. Costco hit right back. We don't even sell baby oil. We be having a real conversation about some real shit. Oh, not a thousand dollars, baby. It ain't that much.
Whenever Katt Williams speaks out, the entertainment industry often pauses to take notice. Known for his unfiltered commentary and detailed recollections of Hollywood's inner workings, he frequently stirs debate and controversy. Recently, a fresh surge of allegations, compiled lists, and resurfaced interviews has reignited public attention around him, this time linking discussions to several high-profile figures including Leonardo DiCaprio, Jay-Z, Beyoncé, Ashton Kutcher, Paris Hilton, Howard Stern, Russell Brand, Mariah Carey, Jennifer Lopez, Russell Simmons, Usher, and Megan Fox, among others.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. I'm proud of you. I love you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I was a party favor.
What does that mean?
I was a party favor. I was somebody you could take off the table.
So you're telling me they set children?
I set children on a table.
Like when you go to a birthday party and they have gift bags for everybody that comes that have candy and toys in them,
Yep.
and they set them on the table. So you're telling me at the freak-off parties, they put children on the table instead of gift bags, and then people can do what?
Take you off the table and have, even though it's against the rules to do certain things like sex or full house. Sometimes that's against the rules. Like for me, that was against the rules, but that didn't matter. That did not matter.
So they come choose you off the table, do whatever they want with you, and then what happens?
And they put you back on the table.
They put you back on the table for somebody else to come choose you? Okay. That's called a party favor effect. That's just one of the little things that go on at the freak-off parties with children. Were there animals there?
Goats.
Did they turn the animals loose on the kids?
Yeah.
And if you got sick and threw up because it was so disgusting, what happened?
You had to eat it.
You had to eat your vomit if you threw up. That's satanic ritual. Diddy was at this party? Denzel Washington was at this party?
Yep.
Birdman was at this party?
Yes, he was.
And Young Jock?
Yep.
And you're telling me Denzel was there and it was after 1 o'clock when he supposedly left?
And beanie socks and a gold chain.
So you're telling me Denzel Washington was butt naked, he had a beanie on, socks on, and a gold chain, and that's it? In front of children?
Yep.
funny. Because he sure portrays himself to be holier than thou.
Well, so a lot of them do.
I think you also told me that one of those men have a birthmark.
Left thigh.
So one of those men have a birthmark on their left thigh.
Yep.
Did you have interactions with Diddy?
Yep.
Denzel? And I know we don't tell on Denzel. You might not tell on Denzel, but your mama gonna tell on everybody. I ain't keeping no secrets.
So stick around, because what you're about to see is straight from the inside. So people like Attorney General Pam Bondi were flaunting around the Epstein files in February of this year. You even had people like Kash Patel, who has been deeply embedded in Trump's orbit, saying that Jeffrey Epstein didn't commit suicide and that the files are indeed real. But our sources, and yes, we're deeply connected inside the White House, have a very different story to tell than the one that's being told to the public.
I am fascinated by this because Patel and Bongino were leading the conspiracy theories about Epstein's death and whether there was a client list. I never thought they would do a flip, but it sounds like they almost have, and they're on board with the notion that it was suicide and there's no list.
Well, very much so. The Department of Justice, with the sign-off of the FBI, released a statement and a memo. Axios first reported it, saying there was no client list and there was no suicide.
Now, during all of this, Diddy had been convicted on 2 counts of the Mann Act, which is transporting across state lines for the purpose of prostitution. And we got word from insiders at the White House that Donald Trump was seriously considering pardoning Diddy. Roll the clip.
This is a big deal. This is a big deal. President Trump is seriously considering pardoning Diddy. And we know this. We have sources with direct knowledge that people from the White House have been in communication with the defense team, Diddy's defense team, and that Trump is seriously considering it, and this is going to be timed to the judge's decision on whether Diddy gets bail.
This would be the ultimate smokescreen, and we've seen for weeks some very major smokescreens, but this one would have to take the cake.
And on the surface, this link kind of starts to make sense, right? 2 men, both accused in high-profile both convinced they were being unfairly targeted, and both using the media to frame themselves as victims. But then everything shifted. Diddy was denied bail. After that, Trump came out and said that he once got along with Diddy very well, but he was leaning towards not pardoning Diddy because Diddy was, quote, very hostile to him during the time that Trump was running for office. Roll the clip.
Sean Diddy Combs.
Right.
Would you consider pardoning him?
Well, he was essentially, I guess, sort of half innocent.
Yes.
I don't know what they do. He's still in jail or something, but he was celebrating a victory, but he seems, I guess it wasn't as good as a victory. Probably, I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great, and seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well. But when I ran for office, he was very hostile.
He said some not so nice things about you, sir.
And it's hard, like you, we're human beings.
Right.
And we don't like to have things cloud our judgment, right? But when you knew someone and you were fine, and then you run for office and he made some terrible statements. So, I don't know, it's more difficult. It makes it more, I'm being honest, it makes it more difficult to do.
But more likely a no for Combs, it sounds like.
The situation becomes even more complicated when public figures must safeguard their reputations and loyal fan bases. Being connected, even indirectly, to an active federal investigation is a serious matter, the kind that public relations teams work tirelessly to avoid, yet online commentators eagerly dissect. In the digital age, once prominent names surface in controversial discussions, speculation spreads rapidly and becomes difficult to contain. The intrigue intensified when fans noticed unexpected online activity, or in some cases, sudden silence. from social media profiles belonging to celebrities rumored to be involved. Usher, who previously spent time working closely with Diddy during the early stages of his career, saw posts disappear from his X account. He later claimed the account had been compromised. The timing, however, raised eyebrows, as the incident coincided with renewed circulation of an older interview, where he spoke about observing unusual and questionable situations at Diddy's residence.
Stuff that's coming out about, celebrities, these celebrities who apparently have been deleting all of their posts on Twitter, the platform now known as X, people that are, I guess some are say are connected to Diddy, are people that were just very, much around him, attended a lot of those parties, the infamous, what people are calling now, freak-offs. So there's three celebrities in particular. There's Usher, there's Pink, and there's Megan Fox. And with this, there is, on a couple of these things, there is a fair amount of misinformation, actually, that has been going around about this whole thing about, why of a sudden all these celebrities, now they're all deleting their posts from on X, what have they got to hide? And it seems to have been just something that, it gets out there on X, one person posts it, it gains traction, and then so many other people roll with it. But going through this stuff here, so first off, there's Usher. So Usher, I believe it was the other day that it came out that it was revealed that, all of a sudden there's no more posts from Usher. All of his posts, the tweets, whatever, you used to call them tweets, they're all gone. But then it was yesterday evening, Usher tweeted, account got hacked and damn y'all ran with it. And then see you tonight in Two It Domes. I guess he had a concert on that night, last night. So apparently this is the whole, my account got hacked, sorry, but I'm going to get back to that one. But with a couple of other ones, there is some misinformation going around with that, and it has been fact checked. So, and there's a lot of these accounts that it's the same people that do this. And what it was this supposedly was breaking news that actress Megan Fox has deleted every post she created on Instagram and deleted every post on Twitter X up to 2013, leaving fans to believe it's connected to the Diddy case. Usher and Pink deleted all of their posts, X/Twitter posts earlier today. We come to find out that was fact checked. That was wrong. What happened was that Pink had quit Twitter and deleted all but 2 retweets in February 2024. And then Megan Fox didn't delete her tweets. She used it for under a week in January 2013 before quitting Twitter. And then if we go down a bit more, she already wiped her Instagram in May 2024. So let's get to the stuff with Pink. Okay, so February 2024. She's only got like 2 retweets up on her account. I don't know, she very rarely maybe used Twitter and she was more like an Instagram person. And some say that it's kind of like she's one of these like left-wing, anti-Trump, anti-Elon Musk, type people. So some are saying that it's actually got nothing to do with Diddy, and this is more like an anti-Elon thing, which could be the case. I'm not saying that's wrong, but that's the truth though. People are making out like this was just done. I think they're making out like Usher, Megan Fox and Pink followed Usher with deleting their posts, but that did not happen because this was back in February 2024 that she deleted her posts. Now, is it possible because the stuff with Diddy with a lawsuit with Cassie late last year? Now, is it possible Pink maybe being quite smart, clued up, maybe just a team where people around her? And there's stuff there's posts, backdated stuff from being around Diddy at parties and events. Did she maybe think it was best just to delete all her posts altogether and just be done with that because there was stuff on there from the past with her and Diddy?
Pink, another major figure in the industry, also cleared her presence from X, formerly Twitter. Meanwhile, Megan Fox took an even more noticeable step by removing all of her posts from both Instagram and X. In the past, Fox appeared relatively open when recalling certain party experiences. She once mentioned catching an early morning flight just to attend an event and casually joked that many guests were barely clothed. While the comment was originally delivered in a lighthearted and playful tone, It has recently been re-examined by audiences who now interpret it through a more serious lens. When asked about who accompanied her during that weekend, she simply responded that she was there with a group of friends.
A bunch of my friends. Diddy, Quincy, Justin Bieber. So far, French so good. Montana. Do we even know half the people you're naming? No. She didn't go to bed. I haven't been to bed yet. You haven't? I want to be Clay when I grow up, Court. I got on a plane at 5:30 a.m. Go this party. I think half the people there were butt naked.
Chloe Kardashian's recollection appears to echo many long-circulated rumors about events hosted by Diddy, according to various accounts. These gatherings reportedly started as typical high-profile Hollywood parties, but were said to evolve into something far more controversial as the night progressed. The resurfacing of this older interview has sparked fresh debate, with many questioning how widely known or discussed these alleged incidents may have been within entertainment circles over the years. Moments like this demonstrate how strongly public perception can shape a narrative when past remarks resurface. They are often reinterpreted through the lens of present-day allegations. What was once viewed as a humorous or casual story can suddenly be examined as a possible clue within a larger controversy. Because Chloe is associated with one of the most media-aware families in entertainment, many observers struggle to believe she was unaware of how impactful or far-reaching her comments might eventually become.
Because I'm not saying this is what happened. If there's a round of kids, it's a trafficker. P. Diddy gets a round of kids. Let's say that round of kids had Justin Bieber in it. There's contracts, okay? There's contracts for codes within that person. So they can take a remote and turn that person off. Britney Spears, when they want to. Lindsay Lohan, when they want to. Amanda Bynes, when they want to, okay? So let's say there's a contract for Justin Bieber. When P. Diddy has a hold of Justin Bieber, he now owns half of those codes. If Usher had the same contract and trafficked Bieber out to P. Diddy, okay, Usher and P. Diddy now have parts of Justin Bieber's contract. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if one goes down, the other side of the code has to go down. If there's a property linked to that person, Kevin Hart, because they had something to do with the trafficking of Bieber, then their property will go down because there's a code to that property. There's a code to everything. And your social security number is like a code. Okay. But depending on the level of MK Ultra, people have auctions for the codes on that person. So they can use a remote to them like a TV and shut them down, turn it up, use somebody else, change it whenever they feel like it. Bookmark it. Trust me. Trust me, bookmark it. Okay? I know it's probably not gonna make sense right now, but bookmark it.
MK Ultra is used, but to get MK Ultra to take hold the way it needs to be, it has to involve satanic ritual, extreme trauma, humiliation, just evil on a level you can't imagine. I don't care what you all think about Trump. I'm not sure what I think about Trump, but he is telling you the truth on a lot of things. You guys just don't understand what he's saying. When he's saying they're eating the cats and dogs, he's preparing your hearts and your minds for the fact that satanic ritual abuse is about to come into the light in a big way. Voodoo is about to come into the light in a big way. Cannibalism is about to come into the light in a big way. All of those things linked.
Justin Bieber is another name that frequently surfaces in discussions involving Diddy, largely due to their well-known closeness during the early stages of Bieber's rise to fame. Diddy was often portrayed publicly as a mentor figure, with the two appearing together at industry events and spending time in more private settings. With Diddy now facing legal challenges, Bieber's representatives have emphasized that the singer is concentrating on his personal life, particularly after stepping into fatherhood, and has no desire to involve himself in controversies tied to his former mentor. However, public silence rarely puts speculation to rest. In many cases, it intensifies it. For Bieber, public curiosity has grown alongside the reappearance of past interviews and photographs that document his connection with Diddy throughout his career. Bieber has remained a figure who attracts both admiration and criticism, often navigating the fine line between global pop icon and frequent tabloid headline. While his association with Diddy has never been hidden, moments like these tend to place every previous interaction under intense scrutiny. Fans and skeptics alike begin drawing connections even when no verified link exists, illustrating how online narratives develop and how difficult they can be to undo once they gain momentum.
This man is having sex with underage. So now the federal government is looking at that like, yo, when is somebody going to come forward? We got this information, this alleged information, but nobody's willing to come forward. Then they go on and say, yo, Shakur Stewart mysteriously dead. Supposed to be a self-inflicted wound. Person that had everything going for him in their life. Kim Porter dead. Somebody's car gets blown up. This guy is walking around threatening other actors, people. Somebody got to get involved in it. If it ain't the state, let it be the feds. Somebody got to stop him. He lucky that God given him the opportunity to be stopped while he's alive, didn't have to go to hell and face that. He got a chance to repent now, change his life.
You mentioned minors, and a lot of people have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of suspect looking videos with Diddy and Bieber in it, and they're making a lot of allegations.
Mm-hmm. Same way they made allegations about Usher when Usher was younger.
I mean, do you think that there's any credibility to these allegations?
When there's smoke, there's fire. Why would Diddy be tapping his kid in his chest to see if he wired? And asking him, are you wired? Why would he be confronting that kid? Why would Justin Bieber make a song about, what is it? I got smashed at a Diddy party or something like that? Why? There's reasons behind all this. So where there's smoke, there's fire, Cam. I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, Justin, he's been real quiet about this. I mean, I think like a lot of the other celebrities.
I was reading something, Cam, and the kids say after he went to Diddy camp, he started using drugs so heavy and was smashed every day. What would cause a kid who wanted to be an artist in the music business all of a sudden to start getting high and drinking and drugging, popping pills and smoking? What would cause a kid to do that?
I mean, usually trauma.
or a Diddy party.
Diddy is currently confronting severe legal accusations, including racketeering and other federal charges, and has reportedly been denied bail on 2 occasions following his arrest in September. Despite the seriousness of the case, he continues to deny any wrongdoing. Meanwhile, details connected to the investigation have dominated headlines, ranging from reports about items allegedly recovered during property raids to law enforcement descriptions of his lifestyle and social environment. One officer involved in the investigation drew a controversial comparison between Diddy's social gatherings and those associated with Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein, suggesting that such elite events had allegedly been taking place for more than 15 years. The officer clarified, however, that not everyone who attended these gatherings was accused of participating in illegal activity. According to the statement, some attendees may have simply observed questionable or unusual behavior, particularly during the later stages of the events. Although no specific individuals were identified, the remarks have fueled speculation that knowledge or rumors about these alleged activities may have circulated more widely within entertainment circles than the public had previously understood.
I've heard anybody else say until the federal government came in, because nobody knew, Mighty. Nobody knew before the federal government came in and hit Puff with those charges that any of this would have ever happened. You could not tell me, nobody could predict that this dude would be sitting on trial for his life. It just wasn't in the cards. And now that this thing has happened, it's made YouTube a lot of money. It's made content creators a lot of money. And everybody is talking about something that we started. Way back with Wisdom Clear MREC, you took over and took it to a whole nother level. Everybody is using it. Everybody is saying that it's Gene Deal's fault. It's Gene Deal who did this. Cassie and a couple other people now, since the federal government got involved in it. Nobody could predict what will happen, but I'm going to tell you what I think is going to go down, brother. Because a lot of has gone, and a lot of people who wasn't at the trial or didn't hear the prosecution do what they did would think Diddy might be getting off. A lot of people think that Diddy might be getting off because they don't know the letter of the law. The prosecution, let's start with them. They did a great job. They did a great job in explaining what trafficking, the 11 charges. The 11 charges, well, it's 4 or 5 charges, but they got different, like trafficking, then paying a prostitution. Actually, they might have paying to transporting prostitution. They got different checkpoints, and that the juror is going to have to go through to check off whether this guy is guilty of the things they saying. The RICO law, they have different statutes of the RICO law that the prosecution had to prove, as well as racketeering. You know what I'm saying? All this started by what I said, the character of this gentleman, the character of Puff, what he has done over the years to people.
In situations like this, the comparisons made by law enforcement can carry significant influence. By drawing parallels between the alleged activities of Diddy and some of the most notorious figures connected to celebrity crime scandals, authorities establish a narrative that naturally captures public attention, even in the absence of formal accusations against individuals rumored to be associated with these events. The mere suggestion of a connection can create long-lasting reputational consequences. Into this already intense atmosphere steps Katt Williams, whose outspoken interviews and uncensored viewpoints have frequently unsettled figures within the entertainment industry. Recognized for openly discussing Hollywood's hidden culture, he has built a reputation for highlighting connections and behaviors that others tend to avoid discussing. While he has not explicitly verified every name circulating in viral discussions, many of his previous remarks about elite social circles, exclusive gatherings, and concealed conduct among high-profile figures are now being widely referenced in conversations surrounding Diddy's legal situation. Williams' involvement adds a distinct layer of influence to the ongoing public dialogue. This impact stems less from documented evidence and more from his long-standing image as someone willing to criticize powerful celebrities without hesitation, leading many to assume his statements come from first-hand experience, regardless of differing opinions about his methods. He has once again succeeded in keeping both his name and the broader controversy at the center of public attention. It is also important to recognize that Williams has occupied this controversial space before. Several of his past claims have ignited widespread debates, prompted public responses from celebrities, and in some instances, appear to align with revelations that surfaced later. This track record encourages audiences to listen closely whenever he hints at industry secrets or references questionable behavior. In the arena of public opinion, credibility often grows from a combination of consistency and perceived authenticity, qualities that many believe Williams has repeatedly demonstrated.
When I wrote it out to kill the careers of the people I was talking about, right? But it was so vicious that I erased all of the knockout blows and just left the jabs so that the comic I'm talking about knows that I know your real story. I'm gonna tell this, but you know what else.
With combination of resurfaced footage, sudden social media purges, and the involvement of Katt Williams has helped keep this controversy in the spotlight. Many observers are also comparing this situation to previous celebrity scandals, pointing out a familiar pattern. When prominent figures are even loosely connected to controversial personalities, the initial response is often silence, followed later by carefully crafted public statements that may arrive months or even years afterward. In this developing situation, public attention remains fixed on how different individuals respond as the legal case involving Diddy continues to unfold. Audiences are closely observing who chooses to address the matter openly, who maintains distance, and who may become more deeply connected to the broader narrative as new details emerge.
In the last interview me and you did, you said that Diddy and Kim Porter were swingers, and a lot of people was wondering, yo, in the comment section, how do you know that, yo? Like, was you doing security when they was doing that or something?
Because when they were in the room and they would go in the room with another couple, right? And I've seen some things happen in the jacuzzi. Like when I'm the only one could go to the room 9 times out of 10. When Puff was the one who, was in the presidential suite, I'm the only one allowed. I gotta watch the door. No one can get into that door. I'm the only one that had the pass key or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes you would hear a boom, 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 a thump or whatever the situation is and stuff like that. Yo, what's up? Everything good? And sometimes they would open the door. I'm right there by the door. Sometimes you see things you don't want to see.
Hey, did they ever try to get you involved? Or
not at all.
Offer you?
Not at all. Puff did it one time, but that's in my book. When he was coming from Dallas, he had the snow bunnies. And I reneged on that. Nah, I'm good.
Hey, did you see any celebrities Puffy did any of that stuff with? The swinger stuff with?
Yeah, I did.
Tell me about that.
I think I told you about that. One time, him and somebody, Sarah, and this young girl flew from Atlanta. And they, and flying from Atlanta, we had this artist with us, right? And we were staying in the presidential suite at the hotel. And this particular artist and Puff they told me don't let nobody come in the room. So I said, all right, cool. So I propped my chair by the room door while they went in. So this artist's cousin knocked on the door. So I went to him and I let him in because I knew him. I see his face and everything. I seen his face several times before. He said, yo, I got to speak to my cousin. And I said to him, I said, well, they busy right now, man. And they told me don't let nobody come in the room. He said, yo, I'm going in the room to get my cousin out. And I said, bruh, you ain't going in the room to get your cousin out. They told me nobody could go in the room. So he said, I don't care who you are, what you doing like that. I'm going to get my cousin. He went to go and try to open the room. I grabbed his ass, joked him up, and slammed him on the piano. And the next thing you know, Puff and this artist run out the room naked. And so then I said, I see the artist trying to grab a towel, Puff didn't give, and the artist like, yo, what's wrong? What's going on? What's going on? He like, yo, Gene, that's my cousin. And I was like, yo, my man, he was trying to get in the room and y'all told me don't let nobody else come in, let nobody come in this room. Jesus Christ gonna have to come take the Puff. No, Jesus gonna have to take the air out of my body if anybody coming in that room. And Puff just looked at the artist and the artist said, you ain't want to come up in there. It was a lot of freaking going on.
The internet has a unique way of keeping controversies alive. Attempts to erase digital traces often lead to even greater scrutiny, and avoiding public rumors can sometimes cause them to spread further. That ongoing cycle appears to be unfolding right now, with no signs of fading anytime soon. Between the rumored lists, unexpected social media deletions, resurfaced interviews, and the pointed commentary from Katt Williams, the situation has evolved into one of the most widely discussed celebrity controversies of the year. While the full truth about what may have occurred at gatherings connected to Diddy remains largely hidden from public view, one thing is clear: public opinion is still actively forming and far from settled.